Here's a 6-year man, Austin Eckler.
And they are not going to let him turn the corner. Some serious pressure right out of the gate. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. It's Eckler again. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down. Now it's Herbert. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Gets it into the hands of Allen on the jet sweep. And he's brought down short by a yard. It's a 3rd down gain of 4.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. First carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs. And he stopped immediately there.
He was brought down by Troy Reeder. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Back near his goal line. Here's Carr. And he can't get away. Carr is going to go down, and that is a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That second down play nets a -4.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. That catch for his career is number 731, and that's the number that Calvin Johnson ended with when he stopped his career in 2016.
Yeah, what could have been for him. So maybe now what we'll see is someone else continue to elevate their game and put this number well in his rearview mirror. I think 800, not out of line here.
It's a gain of 34.
Well, he reminded us that he was a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago as he starts off Week 1 picking up right where he left off. He told us at the end of the preseason he was primed for a big year. He just gave us excellent evidence of his belief.
A great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Once more, here's Eckler. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Jayon Brown.
And now off to the races down the right side. 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good.
Makes the score. Raiders 7, Chargers 2.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Charger drive about to get going. And now following the safety, they'll have the football with a chance to take the lead as they begin following the free kick with a 1st and 10. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports.
And this offense on third down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. They'll find Everett there, complete. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. This is taken at the 23. It's a 40-yard punt, but they lose yardage on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. To throw, it's Carr. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to hold that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Carr to throw. And that is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fielded at the 43. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. Running on 1st down, Eckler. He won't find a ton of space following the display of power as he's down just inside the 45. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. There's some space here. And a good push up front. He's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a 1st down for L.A. Herbert off of play action. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Denzel Perryman with a sack. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender, but a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
On 4th down, Herbert. That's to his running back, complete.
And he's unable to get away. They stop him at the line on 4th and 2. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Going to give it to Jacobs. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. Asante Samuel Jr. that time up to make the tackle.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now on 2nd and 13. Carr. He gets this to Devontae Adams. Now come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the 50, here's Herbert. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Now after the INT, it's Carr.
To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings them up 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line.
That's how multiple defenders getting pressure. And it's a loss of 6. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller, 23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Raiders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage.
14, Chargers 2.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
The Charger drive about to get going. Well, Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
On 2nd and 10, Herbert. It's caught on the right side. Williams. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Chargers, first down. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And he'll be marked out at about the 26-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
It's 4th down.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Here comes Hall. He's going to bring it out. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
They're on 17.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
On second down, Jacobs. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards there and a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Khalil Mack, of course, the former Raider, there to make the tackle.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From midfield, here's Carr. And that's complete to Adams. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
It's Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He had 1 touchdown earlier, nearly a 2nd one there.
Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Carr going to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. The connection with his running back, Josh Jacobs. Touchdown! Josh Jacobs from 6 yards away. And the Raiders are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game.
Chargers 2.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They started on the ground with Eckler. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble, and the Raiders pick it up. And he's got some space here. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will bump the lead up to 26. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. From the 44, Herbert looking Austin Eckler's way again. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Here's Herbert. Caught by Allen. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Herbert. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. That's into the hands of Eckler. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This is a counter play, Eckler. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 101 yards on the ground for Eckler here, and that's a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Draw play. It's Eckler. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Eckler now between the tackles. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Austin Eckler taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Chargers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Now the Charger offense will stay on the field as they'll line up to go for the 2-point try.
And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Room here to run. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Almost unstoppable on the ground there, as that one is good for 39.
Every player I know tends to play the game in his mind before it actually happens. There's no way he thought that at this stage of the game, this would be his first big run like that.
Yeah, but it's got to feel for him like the floodgates open, a sigh of relief. Now we'll see if things can open up for him.
See if it can continue.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13.
Over the middle, complete. That's Adams. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. And his throw here is incomplete.
They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up fourth down here.
Carlson able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. Into the hands of Williams across the formation. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Here's Herbert. Rolling to his right. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett.
Complete to Gerald Everett. 2 yards on the pickup.
Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. That interception may be the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session. Their grade should be very good on this one. And I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think it's exclamation points, not mark, right?
You're asking me? Seriously?
Yeah, you're smarter than me. Everybody knows that.
Listen, I go with what you say, my man. I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And some room to work. Ooh, the juke. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 87 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Carr, a quick throw. It's complete. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things in this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 2nd and 11 at the 41. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Herbert off of play action. This is swung out to Eckler. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. They only needed 1 yard on third down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Up the middle with Eckler. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On third down, here's Eckler. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
A gain of 9 yards. The tackle made by Jalen
Herbert. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And he slings one that's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here's 3rd and goal now from the 9. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Now, this opening game has certainly not gone their way to this point, but, yeah, that touchdown may be a glimmer of hope for the long season ahead.
And no one in this league likes to talk about moral victories. No one likes to really just say, okay, well, maybe something went right. But you're exactly right about that. A little glimmer there. Maybe they can carry it over moving forward.
They'll look to throw. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns. And it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Carr going to throw here. Throwing left side, it's complete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Continuing to keep their foot on the gas, and it looks like they're just having fun out there. They're loose, they're free, and they're enjoying what the scoreboard looks like.
I'd have to say I agree with you totally. They're having a blast out there all game long. When they throw the football, they're picking up nice chunks of real estate, significant yardage on just about every throw that they make. And there's another one there, and they continue to have that fun that you just talked about.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Another try after the first down sack. Carr. That's going to be caught. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, this was not just